Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and welcome to the Twitch Dads podcast. I'm Stevie. This is Scott, and we are glad you guys found your way here. And before you say it, we know. Oh no, another one. That's right. It's another
Yeah.
one. We are just adding on to that pile of uh, internet entertainment. It's just happening.
We're trying to break it into a new market, folks.
We're doing this is going to be different, I swear. It might though. I mean, it might though. I don't, I think people are going to Google like dad stuff, and they're going to get here and they're going to be like, this has nothing to do with being a parent. This is not. I mean, it could be good. It could be bad. There could be people out there like how to dad, and then they show up here and they're like, this did nothing for me.
What a waste.
Or
Yeah.
it could go the opposite way, and you could be like, I'm really glad I'm here. But either way, thanks for coming through. This is episode 1, or 001. This is the pilot, as it were. We're gonna try to break into this a little bit here, and so just a little quick into that. This is the Twitch Dads podcast. Our primary source of entertainment provision is Twitch streaming. I've been doing it now for 2 years. Scott is still pretty
Dude,
into his
I'm
infancy.
sub 8 months. Like I came up with a bunch of badges, and no one even has those really fancy ones yet. I don't even have it. Like as the creator, like
Yeah,
none of the rainbow badges are showing up yet.
hey, you know what? It's a process, man. You'll get into that right there. But this is not where we're gonna. We're not promoting our Twitch stuff here. I mean, if you want to find us on Twitch, if that's your deal, right there, up on the top right here, I'm gonna get that edited in. You can check us out. I'll be all the stuff over here, and then it'll above him in that area is where he's gonna be at, and you guys can check us out there. But the Twitch Dads podcast, we're doing it. We're in it. And Scott, real quick, it's going to be an interesting lead off here, but we're doing Twitch Dads podcast. What don't you like about podcasts, actually?
Everyone's got an opinion, and
Everyone-
they like to voice it. Well, it's just like you were saying earlier. It's just like people will come here looking for a certain thing, they might not get it. I think the whole Twitch Dads thing just makes it more relatable, because like everyone on Twitch puts on a face, everyone's acting, but the Twitch Dad aspect sort of makes it like, okay, yeah, a real person with real problems, and just want to keep it casual and just talk about real world shit.
Yeah.
Not even real world shit, because like politics isn't really real world shit. It does play a global role, but it doesn't affect us as much as we'd like to think it, and
True.
it's all on stage too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just talking about things that affect me day to day. Like the kids came in, and Carmen was covered head to toe with band-aids that she didn't need. She just completely depleted our medical supply.
Oh.
Just stupid little shit like that. But
Huh.
if I were to say what I don't like about podcasts, it's just this forced dialogue between two people that just doesn't ever come off naturally.
Yeah. Which is not the problem. Those of you guys that are here from other platforms, welcome. We're glad you're here, and you're going to be in for a show. But those of you guys that are new, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. The forced dialogue. Scott and I. So
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about our relationship, Scott, real quick. Here.
Well, you gotta answer the question too, boss.
Oh, I will.
What don't you like about podcasts?
I was gonna say honestly the same deal. The fact that there are people that try to treat podcasts more like skits, or like they try to treat it like episodes of like old Seinfeld stuff. They just like, let's just get together with our friends and just complain about airline food, and we're gonna complain
Yeah.
about parking lots, and it's like,
Yeah,
I mean, you're just listening to a conversation. But some people find that entertaining. They do. Me, what I don't like is that
obviously. Yeah.
I don't like sitting in on like conversations that I can't partake in. Like at that point, I feel like I'm on a bus somewhere and I'm just listening to people and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
But
But that a lot of people don't like to be in a dialogue though. You do,
I don't.
but a lot of people just like to listen to hear what people have to say.
And that's what I was gonna say is that there are people out there that do enjoy that. So hopefully you guys find what you're looking for here. But let's lean into this a little bit more. There, I'll go ahead and I'll bite. So the difference. So here's the difference of this. So we are dads. We do have, I have a solo child, one kid that I know of. Scott has two over there, and your girls are, how old are they?
9 and
9
3.
and 3. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Mine is 14 months. She was 14 months like 2 days ago. So she's 14 months old. So the spectrum there is fairly wide as far as the kid things. I'm still dealing with like crooked, dirty diapers and crying and no words, whereas, there's Scott with, head to toe and band-aids for just cuz. And then didn't your youngest punch some boy in the face?
She did.
She punched some kid
I'm very happy about that. Yeah, she was on the playground and she had these little bubble guns, like the automatic little bubble guns.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And she was sharing with all these other kids. She had like this little girl she was best friends with. And the thing about Carmen, the 3-year-old, she's a social butterfly. She makes friends really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you get on her good side, she'll follow you around the playground. But if you try and take her bubble gun, she'll punch you in the fucking face. And she did. She punched this little kid in the face, and he ran off screaming because he tried to take the green bubble gun, but she wanted to give him the blue bubble gun. Yeah. The trials.
There's color there's color coding. There's
Yeah, she likes what she likes.
There's
and
operations.
Kid was being a dick, and boom, pound the kisser.
If I could live my life like that, where, well, why did you punch this child in the face? Well, he's being a dick. As a 30,
because blue.
as a 32-year-old,
Because green.
as a 32-year-old man, why? Well, he's being a dick. So I just let him
Yeah.
have it. That's
Yeah.
we should be able to get away with that here, man. I'm just saying. But
Mike
she's-
Tyson's trying to get away with that right now.
Oh,
This is exactly what he's trying to get away with.
when
He's like, guy was dick, punched face.
we talked,
Yeah,
that was
repeatedly.
our.
repeatedly punched
Oh
face.
God, dude! I remember. What's funny is that you told me about that. Like when we first talked.
I did, yeah.
We first talked about wanting to do this.
I was like, hey, did you hear that Iron Mike just turned someone into patty melt? And you're like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
I was like, well, he pulverized some guy on an airline.
So the funny thing is, I saw two things. I saw his quote, and it was like they had like the meme like style photo of him where it's his quote, and he's saying that, and I was like, all right, I guess he's not wrong, but I don't know why that's relevant. And then like the next day, I saw. Or no, it was like later on that day, I saw it was a photo of like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, the old game.
Yeah.
and it was like the aisle of an airplane, and I'm like, I feel like
Yeah.
something happened. But I was at PAX East, so I was in Boston. I was away for work, so I was like doing stuff. So I wasn't able to like, oh, what does this mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you're in your own little
what is
fairyland
going
world.
on? Like I wasn't able
I'm
to.
over here in real world, and you're in La La Land. And I gotta brief you on what happened.
So I didn't.
So here-
I didn't
yeah.
understand it, and then you were like, he's like, yeah, dude, he punched. It's like what? And you like described it, and I remember.
Wasted some ass.
You-
So
yeah,
here's
I
the quote. Here's the quote. It says, okay, social media made you way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face
That's
for
it. That's it.
Iron Mike, July 20th. I
That's
agree.
it. That's it. Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly.
He's absolutely right, and I wanted to bring that around right there because we had a whole conversation about that we could still continue for this, but yeah, and so you told me that, and I remember, and I'm gonna quote you here. He fed this dude's face punches on a piston, and then you started talking about the Iron Man, Hulkbuster,
Just a
Avengers.
V10 just-
It was, dude. That video was gnarly. We don't have a Jamie
Yeah.
yet, so I'm
It's
sorry,
an,
guys.
it's an unsettling video.
We
but
don't
it was great.
we don't have a Jamie, so we can't pull that up. But I'll you know what I'll do actually, because we're trying to sing right here, and you guys are watching the video of it. Right over here in this little bubble, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put just a little blurb of him. Just get that way. It's just
Okay, so
yeah,
blue is in
yeah.
the corner.
Blue is your corner where we're both going like this. Right here, guys, is gonna be where he's feeding that dude those. So check that out right there. But that was wild, man.
I saw. I think most people saw it before you were even back from PAX East. So.
Yeah, dude, you
The videos for Stevie.
You told me about it, and then when I went and I saw the video, I was shocked. I was like, dude, because there was no lead in. Like the video just the article that it was on, it started.
Well, of course not, because if you're on an airline, you're not just videotaping Iron Mike waiting for something to go down.
No.
Do it. He's a docile person. He's
So
not an asshole.
what I mean is that the video I saw it started where he's just like he is just
Already up in the
he is
dude.
torquing on that seat, and he's just bah bah bah, and then
Insane.
and his buddy
Yeah.
is sitting back there like, come on.
Oh, Mike, stop! It's not worth it, man.
But then they showed the video.
But the dude's face is already part of the back of his headrest at this point.
But they So then like they showed the lead in of what happened, and they show like somebody recorded it from the side, and you see like he's sitting there and he's ignoring the guy. His buddy, you see the back of his buddy's head, and this dude is like standing over the seat, and he's like like
Turned around.
yeah,
'Cause the dude-
he's talking
I
shit
guess
to him.
I guess there's a video because the dude was yelling, like he was making a scene.
Oh, he
So
was
people were
absolutely.
probably recording that shit and
Yep.
like waiting for things to go down. And you're literally poking a fucking sleeping bear. Just bap,
He's
bap,
still
bap.
one of the most dangerous people on the planet with his bare
Yeah.
hands.
Like even if he's
It doesn't matter how old he is. I mean,
Yeah.
he got back into fighting and boxing
Menacing.
just for shits and giggles, man. I mean, it's one of those deals that's just like, if somebody is a certain way for a long time, that might tone down, but it doesn't go away, and that's just such a bad idea, What was that? It was Animaniacs, wasn't it? Good idea. Bad idea. And it was just like showing just like people like that. But we lead it, we were talking about when we talked about that day, pain retains.
Yeah.
You learn
Yeah.
lessons
Going
from
back to that quote, I think I agree with it 100%. Like, and I'm not just saying that just to be like, oh, to hell with social media. It's like, no, things have changed a little bit since even since MySpace. Like I was just talking about this plug-in for my Twitch. I was just talking about this on Twitch, where MySpace sort of created this dumb thing where you got upset about stupid shit like your top 8 friends.
Oh my
You
god.
go back to the lunchroom. What the fuck, bro? It's like, well, you slighted me in fucking Miss Wiggins' class the other day, so you're down at number 7.
Now
bitch.
you're 7, dude. Now you and Ryan are fighting for 4. Whatever.
Fight before,
Fighting for 4, man. There it is. You have the March Madness every other weekend with your groups of buddies on
Yeah.
MySpace and all that. But that's funny.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. What do you think? What do you think Tom's doing right now?
Dude, Tom sold the company like at the height of MySpace, and
Uh-huh.
he bailed.
What do you think he's?
He made out.
He sold
I
out.
forgot. I
man.
forgot who bought MySpace, but that's when the decline started happening. And then I think Justin Timberlake.
I was gonna say I think Justin
Did he
Timberlake
buy it?
he did something, which is funny because
they
he
started making it like a music platform
yeah,
for
that's what it
musicians.
was. You're right, but that's funny. But yeah, I mean, pain retains, and it was funny because we talked about that, and then like I said, my kid, Evie, she's like 14 months old, and we were talking.
Hopefully, social media is a way different thing by the time she's
I'm hoping.
old enough to.
I'm hoping,
Or
but
just gone completely.
it's just funny because there are so many people out there, especially like when it comes to like parental stuff, they want their kids to be a certain way, to use your words and talk it out. And I gotta tell you, man,
And then that same ass dude,
uh,
is on, and oh man, they'll go to the dumbest arguments. And it's funny to see the social experiment with like baiting, right? Those baiting fucking headlines where it's like, oh, I'm for Amber Heard or all that shit, and then you just get all these people, what the fuck you mean all this shit? And the dude is completely joking, just completely putting it front for him,
let me ask you a question. Do
baiting
you,
for anger.
if you're with a woman and she poops in the bed, Scott,
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
how, what,
Yes.
are you sleeping at are you sleeping at your mom's later that night, or are you on the couch? Because I
In
don't
his
know.
situation, I think he could just go to any other country in the world. I'm not gonna get into all that.
Yeah,
That
right.
trial's still ongoing.
It's still going. There's a lot going on, but it's just
And
It-
I think his best friend put it very nicely. It's like he just wants for this to be over because these people have been struggling with this for so long.
Yeah,
and
for
now
a
it's been
while.
brought
I
into
didn't know
public
that.
view. And it's such a damn shame that they're recording every last second of this and just turning it into an absolute media circus. Because like Johnny Depp, he can handle it, but like his family, they have to go through all this pain.
Yeah.
You gotta feel bad for them. And the best friend said, just chop it off, get done with it. I just hope they both go off and heal.
Yeah.
They both need to just they just
I
need to
agree with
heal
that.
from this whole thing.
I agree
and
with that,
I
man.
agree with it. Like I'm not here to just
I'm just
drag them through the mud and be
I'm-
like, oh,
I'm
fuck
just
Amber Heard."
I'm just leading in because we're always quoting "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia," but I never thought for once that somebody would able to take the pooping the bed scene from "It's Always
Yes.
Sunny" and mean
Yes.
it to something in real life.
A turd merger.
It
Turd merger.
the turd. It's wild, man. And it's just speaking of like social media stuff. But the reason I originally brought
the
up
expert witness.
the extra the
Artemis. I did it.
No, I didn't. No, I
I
didn't.
did all the poops.
But I was leading into it was, there's a lot of people that. So let me ask you a question. When she Rochambeaued this kid for trying to take the bubble gun, was that
I
just
wasn't
some?
there, unfortunately. I heard through the grapevine. Tales were told.
But
You know,
what I was asking was that something where it's like if you're messed with, knock him out, or is that just pure reflex on her end?
well, she's 3, so everything's a reflex. I don't know. She didn't plan to go into it. It's like she was. I think he was like trying to physically take the bubble gun away from her,
Uh,
and she just got frustrated. And frustrated toddlers go to hands. They roll bones fast if they know how to.
go to hands. They immediately
That's
go
right. She
hands
took it. She
on.
took it to the mat. You know, it was great. It was absolutely great.
She took it to the
The
mat.
thing was, like, she gets angry and she'll come up and she'll do like we call in my family we call this the rinse cycle. You know, like the rinse cycle that a washing machine does, where you'll just lock your arms and fists into a place and just like twist at the hips and just start throwing bows. That's what she did. She went to the boy put a fucking quarter in and started the rinse cycle on this kid. Um, and yeah, that's what she does. And it was effective because he ran off. He ran off crying. It was great. Yeah. So
The That's
yeah.
incredible.
It-
I love it. That's good shit, man.
yeah.
That's the rinse side. Okay. All
But
right.
I'm if she carries that shit on to through her whole life, I would rather my kids know how to defend themselves.
Yes. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I agree with that 100%. That's
Even if they're girls, especially if they're girls. Hell,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
I
Should
mean,
know how to
I'm
throw. I'm teaching Camille how to throw a punch.
Oh man, I
Like a
forgot.
real one.
We're in the same boat, man.
Yeah.
Fucking girl kids. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I told this might be a little controversial, but I taught Camille how to shoot when she was 6 with an
And-
airsoft gun.
But you
It
know
was an
what?
airsoft gun, but
It's all preference, man. I think you should totally be able
I'll have to
to
upload her shooting stance. It puts a lot of
let people to
because I
shame.
used to work on the Marine Corps rifle range, right?
There it
You see
is.
some,
There it
you see
is.
some,
There it is.
yeah.
The
I was in the
Marines.
Marines.
This is Marines. This is the cool.
How,
Eagle
what's
Globe
our
and Anchor.
timestamp? What's our timestamp? How far did I make it? How
You
far did I
made
make
you
it?
made it 17 minutes.
Yes,
17 minutes.
I'm getting there. See, I'm getting there. Stevie, look.
Oh my God! Sit down. Knock it off. Knock it off.
Okay, so, no, this is complete. It's laundry day. This isn't even my best one.
This is not a recruiting angle for the Marine Corps either, everybody.
But it could.
No,
be.
no, it's not. No, it's not, Scott. Knock it. No. Eagle Globe and Anchor.
Give me E6 and we'll talk.
Anyway.
So, anyways, so yeah, you should see her shooting stance. It was actually pretty good. Yeah, it was with an M4 airsoft, and she had the fucking Titan,
Oh,
chipmunk cheek up.
good, good.
Just
You
great.
know what?
So,
I think too many people. Here comes the dad part of it. I think too many people. They
Oh.
let other things influence what and how they want to do things for their children. And honestly,
yeah,
unless you're,
100%.
unle-
Because like I had to lead off with this might be controversial. I don't see why it's controversial.
but it's other people. I mean, here's the deal.
It is other
Before I get misquoted on something, you should be able to do whatever and however you want with your children to shape them into the best versions of themselves that you want them to be. You should be able to.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that without some goofball with a Twitter handle going, "No, that's right." But here's the deal. I have no problem at all because I know how like my stuff's gonna be. I got tons of friends, a bunch of people that want to show you how to shoot and they want her to know how to do it, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I know I'm not going to be teaching my kid this stuff for the sake of trying to make a GI Jane. I'm not trying to make the best sniper. I want her to be able to know how to use something safely, how to be safe around it. And that just goes for, not just a gun, but that's like everything. Hey, the stove is hot. Hey, knives are sharp. Hey, stairs are steep. And, if you fall down these things, you're going to get held back in the 4th grade. Like,
It's
you
also
get.
sort of like the preacher's daughter type thing. You don't want them to have their first experience with something with the wrong person.
That too. 100%.
So,
100%.
you have some dumbass in college or high school who's like, "Oh, got into my dad's guns. You want to like play with them?" Because I've actually run into that experience, but I knew about guns. I'm like, I'm not touching that. You
I-
fucking kidding me?
I had
Dad
this-
told me that shit's dangerous as fuck.
I had that happen, and well, I'm not going to be dropping names or anything, but that had happened. It was actually with one of my cousin's buddies. But my cousin's a couple years younger than I am, but like one of his buddies, that had something like that had come up, and I was just like, the stop, the brakes are screeching. I was like, wait, and
Yeah.
I was like, can I see that, dude? And I got it from him. Sure as
Oh yeah.
shit, loaded, no safety was the safety was on, off. One's up. I was like, let me see that thing right here, and I just, okay, this thing is partially safe now, but the immediate threat of this kid going, "Hey, got bought," and then we're on news
Yep.
6 because something that went away,
Yeah.
and it's
So like,
that's
yeah,
something like that,
it's true.
things like that. That's an important thing for any child to have, because that's the difference between, hey, I'm telling you guys a story about how that happened versus, oh yeah, no, Stevie got this, or oh yeah, one of his buddies got that because no, it was just a bunch of kids with nobody knowing, how to be properly safe. And, not to mention that does also lead into, the parenting side of things where it's like your shit should be properly secured and put away. This is a prop. This is
Yes.
a prop
The prop.
before anybody before anybody said the dude
Yeah.
with the prop and not the Alec Baldwin prop. We're still taking shots at him. That's never going away. Pun intended.
Jesus.
Pun intended. That's happening. But that is what's going on over there with that. But
So
I
I was really proud of Camille with the amount of like gun awareness she has. I was cleaning a gun one day, and I left it on the table to go get something, and it was like half apart, but it very much still looked like a gun to a kid.
Mhm,
Like the lower receiver had been taken off. It was my USP, my
mhm,
H&K USP,
mhm.
and that thing's a blocky bitch. So like even the lower receiver looks like a full fucking gun to a
Oh
kid,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and it was in pieces. There's no way a kid's gonna put this packed together in a functional way. But I went out, used the bathroom, came back, and she was like, "Oh, hey, Dad, your gun is out." And because I tell her like, if you ever see a gun in the house, first off, just don't touch it. Go tell an adult about it, and she did.
That's
Even though I
amazing.
was just cleaning the
That's
goddamn thing.
awesome.
So,
That dude, hey, proud dad moment. That's proud
and that's
dad
what I'm
moment
saying.
right
Like, and the this has probably been talked to death, but the amount of guns and video games, all this junk, it's like it desensitizes in such a way that kids think that since they've touched it in a video game, that they feel. You ever heard of the I'll have to look it up here once you get talking, but the Kruger effect. You ever heard of the Dunning Kruger effect? It basically is like a curve that shows how much you feel you know on a subject versus how much you actually know on a subject. And there's a very interesting little graph that goes with it where it's like the most that you ever feel like an expert about something is when you know very, very little about it. And then as you start learning more and more about it, you learn how much you actually don't comprehend everything about it. So I know I'll have to pull it up for you, but basically,
there.
gun novices think that they are the most expert on guns.
Yes.
Is basically what it says. And so
I
for kids,
if I had
they get a couple minutes with it in a video game, or they watch a documentary about it on YouTube. They feel like they are the fucking man with that gun. So
there are adults that think the exact same thing too.
exactly,
If I had a nickel
yeah,
when I was working at the gun shop back home
shit, yeah,
when I was working at that gun shop, the amount of dudes that come in and they could I see that oh yeah, sure thing, bring it off.
yeah,
Is
bitch.
it clear? Say here you go, sir. You do your thing,
Hmm.
and it just turns into a meme moment, and this dude just looks like Keanu Reeves
Yeah, they're
blindfolded.
doing all this fucking, tight angle fucking pistol
Uh,
aiming. I'm like, you're gonna take your eye out, by the way. You you ever shoot a gun like that, you're gonna be blind.
excuse me, sir. Hey, what? Can you not do that around the customers? Can you not do that? And
Yeah,
their first they said, "Oh no, man, I know what I'm doing. It's all good. It's all." I'm like,
yeah.
no, you don't.
There's
No,
there's no
no, you don't.
bigger like slap you the fuck down into your place moment than in boot camp. When you get there and they're handing you your first M16 and all these kids are like starry eyed and you just know that they think that they're the shit with that already. They've never touched that weapon before, but they've played a million video games that tells them that, oh, I know how to use this. And the first things the drill instructors say is, bitch, you don't know bleeping thing about this at all, you're no expert. You fucking suck, right? And it's true because
Just like
most of
that.
them, you go to the range and you start learning everyone, who's good, who's bad, and it's all the kids who thought that they were the best that shot the worst.
It's like Dark Souls. It teaches you how not as good a game as you think you are.
Sure, yeah, it
Twitch
slaps you down
Twitch
real fast.
Twitch Dad's game reference. There it is.
So for most kids, I think that like the basic principles of understanding how to properly handle a firearm is way more beneficial than not.
No,
I feel like it can only serve to better that person.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. And it's like I said, it's you do the same thing with everything else. Stove is hot, water's dangerous if
Hmm.
you're underneath it.
Yep.
Fucking knives are sharp. If you don't know that dog, don't go near it.
Yeah.
Why would you not incorporate that with other stuff that is gonna, that could potentially save your kid's life? I mean, it's just,
Right.
I think people need to get over certain things. I mean, you have your preferences all you want. I think people should be, you have to take, you have to take all these things into consideration, being safe with whatever is in the world. Everything in this world, at some point or at one point or another, will try to kill you. It doesn't matter. You just have to be able to make sure you don't give into it and let it happen on accident. And just knowledge helps. It really does. And having that is good. But I like that we're at the same mind frame, or set of mind, or
So
state
here's a,
of
here's a,
mind.
here's a good here's a good
Jesus,
statistic for you.
there we go.
So in the United States, there's approximately 120 guns per 100 people. So more than enough to go around. You're going to encounter guns, right? This whole you're not going to we should just teach kids to never go near guns. That's statistically it's going to happen, so they should know how to act accordingly when it does happen.
I like
It's like
that.
why you do fire drills. You
Yeah,
know, if you think you're you know if you think you're setting up your kid for success by being like just stay away from guns, that's
yeah.
not good enough.
Just stay away from beer. Just stay away from drugs.
Stay
Just
away
stay
from fires.
stay away from bad weather. Stay
Stay
away
away
from
from car crashes.
yeah. It's just these things happen. I think you need to be more realistic on what that is, and that's not that's what's fun about like what we do and like how we are. Like we have fun. We have all the fun in the world. We joke about everything else, but we are kind of grounded in reality with
Right.
what we
And
do and how we do it. And I think that's great. I
yeah,
think that's super fun, and it's practical as well.
and I know it's highly anecdotal, but I've been a gun nut my entire life, and I've never had any mishaps or any like even near mishaps happen. Just because I've always been, like I took my uncle and aunt to the range once,
Uh,
and I burned my hand on the barrel because she was doing this thing where she's shooting, and she's like, "What?" And she turned and just started bringing the gun with her, and I had to bare hand the barrel and
ah,
singe my hand. Now here,
yeah,
who's acting safe, who's not? It's the person who said her whole life, "Oh, I want to stay away from guns. They're dangerous." Versus I, who have been with guns my whole life,
yeah.
and I might have. I don't think I ever was close to like saving a person's life on that range day, but it's just the mindset
I actually,
and knowing what's going on.
I did have a mishap happen when I was in high school. It was like my
Hmm.
freshman year, and no, actually, it was my eighth grade year, heading into freshman year, and I went on a hunting trip, family hunting trip, and my cousin and we paired off a couple of times. We went to go, so spotter sniper setup, but we were both,
Sure.
taking turns, like he would, look for something, and then if he, if he saw it, spotted out, I'd shoot it, and then we would, take turns, do you want to, you see something, it's all you, man, like it's your deal, like here's, have at it. And we were out for a certain amount of time. We were heading back to the cabin we were staying at, and then while him and I were getting ready to leave, I didn't want to be walking. I'm not in country, or I didn't want to have a hot round, in the gun. So I went to go, get rid of it and put it in my pocket, and then we were gonna leave. And I went to go unload it, and he was standing in front of me when him and I were talking. I was like, yeah, 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 and I was getting ready to unload this thing, and I remember pointed up, get ready to clear that thing out, and it was an old 20 gauge bolt gun. This thing was like older than I was. So while him and I were talking, just instinctively, just okay, point it up. Here we go, coming down, and as soon as I pulled the bolt back, as soon as that bolt locked back for me to eject that round, the round never ejected out. The fucking gun, like something with the sear in the pit, it just went. The gun was old,
Boom.
it just went off, but it was
Boom.
up and away. It didn't explode in my hand. Even if it something, devastating would have happened. It would have just
Right.
been the
Well,
gun happening right there.
that's where barrel awareness comes into play. Never accidentally pointed it.
No. And
Because
it,
at any time, God could just come and hit the fucking primer and boom. Yeah. Or
it-
if you're talking like realistically in country, like it could be 120 degrees. You could get pop-offs
yeah.
if your gun's hot enough, if you've done some shooting. So
Hmm.
you just barrel awareness because
But
acts of God happen every day.
but something that I learned when I was younger to incorporate while I was, it's common sensual things. You have, yeah, I don't know, sensual. Someone's gonna, whatever.
You got this.
You got
Come
it. But it is a common sense thing, as far as being aware of that. But you know, having it just be just from taking some classes and learning from people and all that, just be hey, let's be safe with this fucking thing right here. Just put it up and away. It's just it's something that everybody should be aware of. It's
So
common.
yeah,
It's common sense,
I
people.
agree.
Here we go. You're gonna
In the Discord,
you're gonna,
I did provide you with a picture of the Dunning-Kruger graph, confidence versus competence.
Oh, there it is. Perfect. I was gonna say I
Yeah.
need that for when I edit this together. But
Yeah,
you're,
so that's what I'm talking about. Is like when that's working against you,
yeah.
you should break them out of that peak, that confidence peak, and be like, look, you don't know, and it's okay not to know,
Yeah.
but you should work
That's-
towards actually knowing.
That's another thing too that I think a lot of people, when it comes to like, it's okay to not know things. I think there are so many times where people just try to, yeah.
Hell, hell, you go to Wall Street Bets and try and persuade those people that they don't know what they're doing. You
Uh,
good fucking luck.
I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
you're gonna get that a lot here. You're gonna hear a lot of hey, we're the dads you didn't know you needed. We got you.
That's right.
Come on
I'm
through.
here.
That's
I'm
what
here to
we're.
break you down.
That's
so
what
you
we're.
don't know, but
That's
it's
what it
okay.
is. Okay. Hey,
I don't know.
we might be disappointed, but we're always gonna love you. There it is, the Twitch dads. There it is. There's the.
I'm not
Hey,
mad.
hey. There's
Disappointed.
that's the thumbnail right there. That'll be the thumbnail for it. No, it's just it'll be it'll be interesting to see how things go, especially like social media. I mean, because I didn't. It was crazy to me
Back
that
to social media.
well, because there's a lot of things that people want to teach and instill into people, and I came back around social media because somebody explained to me that they understood how to like how to properly clear out their brake lines when they're doing it from TikTok.
Nah,
Okay.
dude.
What? I was
Nah.
like, what do you mean? Like, what? It didn't. There. It's like. I was like, well, okay, explain to me then. What proper way is that? They're like, well, you're supposed to actually cut it and drain everything out. And I'm like, I can't believe that just happened. You did what?
Yep.
What? And that's exactly what that went into, was that somebody went on TikTok and they're like,
Yep.
yeah, properly drain your line. This is what you need to do. You need to cut this here
So-
first. And I was like, please tell me you know.
That's a sabotage video.
I was like, please tell me you know that is that. I was like, it's very important to me. It's important to me that I know that you know that this is not a
Oh,
thing.
man.
They're like, but I thought you could just like put it back together. And I'm like,
No,
Go
okay,
to-
so iPhone
go to your
had
room.
a huge thing.
Go to your room.
You go to your room. You think about what
go
you
to your
did
room.
before I
I'll
rub
be
your
up there in
nose
a
it.
bit. I'll be up there in a bit.
So iPhone had a lot of that sabotage happening on like iPhone forums for I forgot what model it was, but there was a whole thing going around that like, oh, it's waterproof now, like all this. It's waterproof, or the big one was you can microwave it and charge it. So like, oh, new iOS 7, you can put your fucking and here's the thing is like people are so gullible that it was updates, like iOS updates, software updates, not the actual phone being different. Like they didn't sell a new phone saying it was microwavable. They said that a software update to the phone made it so that you could charge it by putting it in your microwave on high for like a minute.
You deserve that at that point.
You deserve it, fucking
You
idiot.
deserve that. You deserve
Or-
that.
Yeah. Or when they went to like the thin aluminum frames, there was a whole campaign on Reddit and like iPhone forums that you could bend the screen, right? You could bend the screen and not break it. And you just see all these people with these fucked phones, Just like, boom! Oh no, what happened? I want a refund. Yeah, it's like, nah, you
Yo,
got duped.
you imagine walking into the iPhone. Well, I saw it online and just put that dude at the table just.
The genius. Yeah, we don't do refunds
Yeah,
on
we
absolute stupidity.
sorry, we can't refund idiocy. Sorry
Yeah,
about that one. That is
yeah,
hilarious. Oh my
yeah. Just
god.
the
Yeah,
toxic into threads. Yeah.
but then there is like some cool like food things on TikTok, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like
Well,
all right, that's interesting. All right, I mean, you're not going to
yeah.
get a Gordon Ramsay lesson from TikTok about food, but there are. It's crazy that there are some things you can learn to pick up on and do from the internet.
Right.
But
I would
then
say
the scare,
technical things.
yeah, the scary part is that there are people that are
Um,
totally baiting other people with like technical shit, and it's like you
yeah,
need to
cut
go
your
to
own brake lines.
your room right now.
You need to stop. Yeah,
I will talk to you before dinner. Just we don't need that, but that needs to
yeah.
happen. So that's yeah, it's crazy, man, and it's crazy to
Content is content,
yeah,
baby.
interactions, man.
I never said that this was accurate. All right.
No, it's wild to me, man. It's wild to me how that goes. But I just it comes back down to this. The world is going to be crazy. The world is going to be wild, and you can
Your
only
damn kids.
you can only control can control your own whatever's happening in your world in your realm,
Yeah.
and you got to be careful on that one. You have to pay attention to it, and that's where the
Yeah.
Twitch chats come
Which
in. We will.
which leads me into my next good point, though. Like, I was just having a whole hour long conversation with my buddy Keon
Mm,
about this. How social, I guess, what would you say it? Like social pressures, I guess, from other parents is like, oh, well, my daughter has a phone. All my daughter's friends have phones and they're in fucking third grade. I'm like, nar.
yeah, nar,
Nar, man,
nar.
nar. So I was having a huge conversation about that where it's like, dude, I'm not giving my kid a phone until she's independent enough to have a car.
Yeah, I mean,
Like she doesn't need one until then because like she's got parental supervision most of the time.
yep.
She got teacher supervision. If she's in a club, I should know about it. I should have a point of contact with
Mm,
that person. They're like, well, in case of emergencies. I'm like, well, no, like it's not gonna happen.
I agree with
But
that.
I know what will happen if she has a phone. 99% of the time is she'll waste her entire goddamn adolescence on it and talk with people she shouldn't be talking to and
Yeah.
doing all sorts of stupid shit that teens innately have the desire to do, but now she
Yep.
has the equipment to perform it with.
No, I totally agree with that, man. And I'm glad we're hey, your Twitch dads. We
Hmm.
got you. Okay, don't
That's
you worry
right.
about that. But I agree with that completely. It's just I think before, you shouldn't be giving something to somebody that they're not ready to have and handle. Just
It's
for this
responsibility. Like
just for the
smartphones are just yeah, it's a huge responsibility to have.
yeah, just for
It is.
doing it just for the sake of, oh well, everybody's got one. Yeah,
Fuck that. Yeah,
no,
you know
no,
what else is
no.
also true? Everyone else's kids suck. All right, for them, kidding mostly, but no, it's true. Like I don't care what everyone else is doing because on the whole, this nation ain't doing too good with that. All right, we're raising a bunch of spoiled brats.
Yeah, it's pretty
You know,
wild, man. Yeah,
on the whole, like because I've met the other spoiled brats in my kids' class. There's a lot of spoiled brats in there, man.
yeah.
It's a damn shame.
It sucks, but again, the
Yeah,
leading point is you can only control what happens within your camp,
correct.
and that's
I have to
how
produce a productive member of society. Yeah,
and that's what we're gonna
and
help.
giving them a smartphone is just dampering the situation.
And that's what we're gonna help you guys do. We're gonna the dads you didn't know you needed, but we got
Yeah,
you. We got you. But with that being said, it is a school night, and we gotta let you guys go. You got to get
it's
in
a school.
bed, and we gotta. It is actually, for you, not for me. Not yet anyway. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna wrap it here. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. Thank you guys so much for coming along this way, and hoping you guys are enjoying it. This is our pilot episode. If you're listening to this, and we're further down the line, thanks for coming all the way back here to see how we started and let us know how we're doing so far. But I'm counting the eggs before the chicken even shows up, but fingers crossed. If you guys like what you saw here and you want to, catch up more and see what else we're doing, we are Twitch dads. We do Twitch. So my link is going to be up here of where you want to go. Scott's is going to be somewhere right
Somewhere over here.
there. His is going to be
Yeah,
right there, actually. His will be right there. We do Instagrams as well. The links will be up in those areas as well, down below. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. How what are you looking forward to from this? What would you want to look forward to from this?
Mm. It's
And
gonna be merciless.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be so
We're
good.
gonna get raked over the coals.
Make sure you guys don't miss out. Click the subscribe button down below. Follow us above it, everything else. Catch us during the week. Good lead into our episodes we're going to be doing on Sundays. And yeah, this is going to be a damn good time. So, with that, thank you so much for coming through. We can't wait to see you guys in the next one. And until then, I'm Stevie.
Yeah, I'm Scotty. You guys go get some sleep. Damn it, it's a school night.
I better not come up there and see you on that damn cell phone. Better not see you on that smartphone that your mother insisted you get.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you guys so much. We will catch you next time. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Hope your week goes well. See you next week, guys.
See you guys.